Hey everyone, Stoic here. Today I've got another build for you. It's an ice farm. This is actually, in full disclosure, based on Ethos design from about 5 years ago, and I'll link his video in my description to give full credit. But I have made a couple changes. The biggest being I don't like using mine. I don't like mining all my ice while my pistons are going up and down on me. It's annoying, I guess. So I've also installed a switch. It's a really easy switch. I'll show you how I installed that. You can turn this thing on and off. That way you can turn it off while you mine it, and then turn it back on and let her go. The other obvious, looking at this picture, change I made is it's a lot bigger. I use a lot of blue ice, and it takes 81 regular ice to make just one block of blue ice. So I needed something a little bit bigger because I do use a lot of blue ice in, when I build. I like to use blue ice. I think it's a great block, looks wise. And also I use it for transport systems. So this particular farm is 24 by 24 by 12 high. So it'll produce 6,912 ice blocks. Quite a bit, but it still only comes out to 85 blue ice blocks. But I didn't really want to go any bigger than this when I build mine. The reason I went 24 by 24 is 24 is the max you can get. This has pistons on each side pushing ice blocks in. They only reach 12 on each side, so I'm basically maximizing the push distance of those pistons. And then 24 the other direction was just, it sounded like a good number. It was nice and square, took up a nice square plot, and like I said, it makes 85 blue ice a day is what I get out of it, because I basically mine it every day. I don't know the exact time for it to fill up, but I know that I can go to bed at night and get a really good, nice long night's sleep, and it'll be full, if not close to full, the next day. So, all right. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today, and so let's go ahead and get started. All right. So the first thing we're going to need to do is find an area, flat area that's 34 by 30, and then what we're going to do is we're going to dig down 4 blocks. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do that for the whole 34 by 30 area. Now you don't have to bury this. I like to do it because I like it to be flush with the ground. I like to see that big block of ice sticking out of the ground. But you can build this whole thing above ground. Just know that you will need to plan on enclosing the sides somehow, because otherwise you're going to get mobs in there that are going to this uses a rail system, so it could stop your hopper cart. So just know that going into it. So I'm going to go ahead and dig out this 34 by 30 area, 4 blocks down, and then I'll be right back. All right, so we got our 34 by 30 area dug out here, and it's 4 blocks deep. And so what I want to show you here is, so for me, this is left to right now is my 34 distance, okay, 34 block distance. And that's the direction our rails are going to be running, just back and forth, back and forth. So at one end or the other of this, though, you've got to pick where you're going to put your switch, okay? I'm going to put my switch, right over here. And so what you want to do on your switch end is you want to count from the corner, going to your right. You want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and then right here, you're going to punch that out. You're going to put a redstone block. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go from here that way, 24 blocks. I do want to show you, let me show you on this one right here. One of the other things you can do if you want, I've got another one here, kind of a pain, but you don't want to use a bunch of redstone. You can come down in here and you can throw a switch right underneath it, then turn it on. You can just backfill this out of this hole, I guess. All right, and then you'll notice that if I put a powered rail on there, it's powered. Okay, so if you don't want to use redstone blocks for whatever reason, like I said, in my previous videos, I've said, I don't know, I start mining in survival, and by the time I'm ready to do a project like this, I usually got stacks of redstone. So, but if you want to use a cheaper alternative, I mean, switches are made out of stone and wood, so you can do that. But for this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and stick with putting redstone blocks in. So anyway, we're going to go 24 this way. So that's what, 4, 5, 6, All right, so I should have 3 blocks left of the wall, okay? So, and then we're just gonna come in here and fill all this in, okay? Like I said, you can do this with levers if you want. All right, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go down to this other end. This is your non-switch end. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're gonna go left, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then we'll do this, and then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go 24 blocks, and put your redstone in there. Should have, again, 3 more blocks to the wall, okay? We'll fill this in. Okay. So now what we want to do is on this end, our non-switch end, we want to go ahead and throw a regular rail here, a powered rail here, and then we're going to fill in between the redstone blocks with all detector rails, okay? And then what you're going to do is when you come down here, I'll show you. Let's go ahead and go on down here. We'll fill all this in with detector rails. You're going to go ahead and grab your powered rail here again, and you're just going to loop. So you're going to put a regular rail, powered rail, and then detector rails again. Okay. And you're going to go ahead and knock this out, otherwise it's going to mess us up. But you're going to do the same thing here, going, and then you can probably put this back. Okay. So we're just going to keep going back and forth till we get all the way across. I'll go ahead and fill this in, and then once I get done, I'll be right back. All right, so we got all our rail filled in. See here, we should end up, if you did it correctly, you should end up finishing on the same side you started. Okay. Once we get that done, then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and over the top of our detector rails, we're going to put pistons. Okay. So you should use 24 by 24 of these, so whatever that comes out to, but quite a bit. But just make sure you don't put them over the powered rails or your regular rails, just over the detector rails only. Okay, you're just gonna go along here and do that. So I'll go ahead and fill this in with pistons now, and then we'll come right back again. All right, so I got all the pistons in. All right, all over the detector rails. You can see it's kind of a behemoth. We still got a little rabbit friend down here in the hole with us. But so what we're going to go do next is we're going to come down here along sides. We're going to place pistons along here, okay? All the way down the side next to those detector rails. We're going to go do the same thing over here. All right. Then what we're going to do is grab a block, whatever block you want to use. Place it next to these pistons. And then along the back side here, we're going to go three high. Now 2 high you're going to use. The third row, you're actually going to knock out after we're done. So if you want to use a different block that is easier for you to get, like cobblestone or and wood planks or something like that. But we are going to knock them back out. Okay, 3 high here. And we're going to go to the other side, do the same thing. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come around here, put pistons, blocks. Okay. We'll come over here and do the same thing. I'll get it here in a second. Stay with me. All right. All right, so now what we want to do is go ahead and close these ends. We're basically gonna, this is where we're gonna store our water. The water in this channel will freeze because it's exposed, it's got air above it, okay? There's nothing above that. But underneath here, the water that will be underneath these pistons will not freeze, and that helps keep our source blocks in place. But we also have to have source blocks on the end, so we're gonna make some channels here that'll, that will hold water on the ends as well. Okay, so we're gonna go 6 blocks there, go up 2 on the back, and then we'll mount this and put a block there. Not need these, sorry about that. All right, so that's what yours should look like, and then we'll go ahead and take, up here in a second, we'll go ahead and take these blocks out on the back, because we're going to run rail back here. This is where I was talking about you should use a block you're comfortable temporarily. All right, so we'll do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, so that's what it should look like. Go ahead and do that to this side as well. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this with water. So grab your water buckets. You know, I'm in creative right now, but if you're in survival, just grab 2 water buckets. That should be all you need. Because you'll place one here, you place one there. That'll create a source block here, so you can grab water with an empty bucket from there and just keep going back and forth, okay? So but we'll go ahead and fill this every other one. Already lost my place. Err on the side of caution. Then once you tap this block, this whole side will fill in with source blocks as well. So tap that, and then you need to immediately throw. Got our little friend over there. All right, need to throw blocks across here so that water does not freeze. Freezes, you're gonna have to break it and put water back. Okay. So hopefully this down here hasn't frozen on me yet. Okay, but you can see that it is already starting to freeze down here. So another one. All right, so we'll do the same thing on the other side. Blocks across, knocking out that back one for your rail. Same thing down here. All right, as you can see, it's already starting to freeze. And now it's time to run our rail and get this thing finished up. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our non-switch end, okay? And we're going to drop a block here and here. And then you can either drop a block with a switch on the side or a redstone block there, okay? Then we're going to put a regular rail there, powered, rail there, powered, regular. We're going to knock this out and put, you can either knock this out and put that there. Again, you can dig behind here and put a switch in on a regular block. Put a couple powered rails there or just one. Then we're going to run detector rails along the whole back side of these pistons. And we'll just stop down here where the pistons end. And then we'll go to the other side the same way. Drop a block or 2 blocks in this corner. I'm going to use a red block here. You can use a block and a switch if you want. That's the exact same setup. Power rail, regular rail. The rails down the whole back side. Okay. Now on our switch end, we'll start off on the left side. Okay. And what we want is 14 blocks, counting what's already there. So you got 3 there. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14, right? Yeah, so we got 14 blocks. Then you're gonna come this way. Think about this here. Be able to come this way. I think one more. And then you're gonna throw a block up here, that wall. So that's what you should end up with. All right. And then you're gonna come this way with this. All right. We'll just stop here for a second. Actually, let me take that out. Better to start from this end. So then what we need to do is add 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, right? And then a block down here on the ground. We're gonna go ahead and take out these here, okay? Because we're gonna tie in with the rest of the system here. What this is gonna allow us to do is similar to Ethos, is we're gonna cause our cart to run kind of a figure 8 fashion, so that you're always popping these ice blocks up before you're going around behind and pushing them out. More efficient. If you don't do that, you just run it in a circle, one side will finish way before the other side will. Okay. And then what we're going to do is come down here, go 1, 2, on the 3rd block there, put 2 up. Okay. Then we're going to run this to those blocks. All right. Then we'll start laying tracks. So you want to start with this one. If you lay your powered up this first, when we go to try and turn, your turn rail will try and turn into that block. So underneath here, regular rail, turn, and regular rail. Okay, down here I'm going to knock this out and put a powered in. Again, you could have just thrown a switch on the side of it if you wanted to. Go power rail there. Run regular rail the rest of the way. And then I'm going to turn here, and we're going to throw a powered rail right there. And this one here, don't worry about, don't put a powered block there. Okay, or I'm sorry, a redstone block. This is where our on-off switch is going to be. Okay. Then we're going to come down here and throw, whoops. All right, so we'll throw a powered rail there. Make this turn down through here. Let me see, we'll come down 8. So 1, 2, 5. Yeah, right there. Throw a redstone block in or a switch on that block, doesn't matter which. And we'll come down here, make this turn. Okay. All right, so let's tie this in. So we'll come over here, knock that out, put a redstone in. Powered rail, regular. Or I'm sorry. Powered rail. Powered rail. Okay. So now we're all connected. We'll grab a hopper minecart. throw it down right here. Okay, so now that we've got our whole system tied in as far as our rail system goes, now we got to power this thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to install a block here and a block here. Then what we're going to do is put a redstone dust there. My switch out. Let's go ahead. And then we'll put a switch right here. Okay. Then what we're going to do is just grab some grass blocks or whatever you want to paste this with. Oops. I'm going to essentially encase around this switch like that. Okay. Pop open. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to use. So I'm going to use for my decoration. I don't know why, but it doesn't really matter what you use. But for my builds, when I build these, I like to use the nether brick to trim this out. So I'll use that around here. Then what I do is I throw a dark oak trapdoor right there. Okay. All right. So there's your switch, and what this allows you to do is basically turn it on and off. Okay. So you just come in here, your cart takes off. If it's turned off, it will finish going around, but once it gets back here, it'll park itself right there. All right. So the last thing I do is I go through here, and you can see it's already lifting the ice over there. But I go through here and I put in I dirt block. Well, basically I dirt block all this, and then I put a border around it with this nether brick as well, and then I use a stone wall. So you can do it however you want. I'll kind of show you my finished product when I get done here. But I also install a light because you are installing this in a snowy biome. So what I do is I install a light next to this, and I'll show you how I do that. You probably saw it at the beginning. One, it gives me some light when I come out to turn off my switch, and if I'm doing this at night or whatever, which is pretty rare. But it also keeps the snow off here so I can find my switch, because otherwise I have to kind of guess where it's at, poke around, and clear the snow to find my trapdoor. So it keeps it off here. Make sure when I show you at the end, I'll show you the light, but when I get done filling this all in, make sure you don't put the light too close to your ice farm. Otherwise your ice will melt from the light, and it'll just destroy all your rail. Okay, and any redstone exposed, like the redstone dust we have underneath the switch. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in with grass and trim it all out, and I'll be right back. You can kind of see how I did it, and then you can maybe design your own finished product. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, so we've got this all covered up and our wall put around, and our light put in. So just so you understand where I've put these, essentially, if I knock these out, I'm basically putting this right on top of this border, right on top of the pistons. Okay, and then along the front, basically where right up against the ice where it turns. Okay, and I did go when you get over here where it's open underneath. Show you here. Okay, I went too high with the block, because if I don't do that, then what ends up happening is over here it's exposed. Let me see. Show you some of this. Dig out some of our ice. All right. So otherwise you get this. Okay. So I go ahead and fill this area in, like I said, just up to all the way around, up to where the ice forms. I filled this in, created a nice border. Okay. Then grab some back in. This is all just grass that I filled in over the top of the rail. And then, like I said, on the light, if you go up, I've gone up 4 high with fence, and then I don't know, I just put this out there. This is usually what I do. I just put a couple slabs here, a couple slabs there, and then I like the new lantern, so I hang the lantern from underneath it. I used to use a piece of sea lantern or even glowstone. But this is where you want it. One, it's right over your door. It keeps these 2 blocks and then the whole area here melted, so you can easily find your door. And it's not too close that it melts your ice on you. Okay. Then I just got some gates in here on each side. You can see it over there. Getting in here if I need to. But whoops. But all you really need then from here is a silk touch pickaxe so that you can pick up all this ice. All right. Like I said, it'll take overnight to fill in, but it does work really well. It fills in, and like I said, I get 85 blue ice, and you know, I think it was like, I think I gave you the number at the beginning, 6,912 regular ice blocks out of this. So it more than meets my needs for what I need. If you want to know what that is in packed ice, just divide that by 9, and it comes out to 768 blocks of packed ice, which is pretty awesome. If you're looking for a block that doesn't melt due to light and still has some transportation abilities. So anyway, I hope you like this build. Like I said, I use it a lot. I like to do a lot of blue ice building, and it works well for me. So if you did like it, please hit the like button. And I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. We'll try and get some more good videos out for you. But please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm learning here, and I enjoy playing this game, and I enjoy making tutorials. So hopefully it was used to you, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care.